Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ailey if you're new. Today's video is going to be just a kind of random one. So everybody obviously, you will know that James Charles is obviously the talk of YouTube just now. So I think as of right now he's lost like 2 million subscribers. Now, he's losing more in 10 minutes than I've gained in 3 years. Which I'm not laughing about. Obviously, nobody's going to really care what I have to say about it, but I really wanted an excuse to use this palette because I haven't used it in a wee while, and I thought, well, why not use his palette and talk about him? Because at the end of the day, I've seen so many people like binning his palette, smashing it up. Why? You've spent the money on it. It's in his pocket. Why are you going to deprive yourself of being able to use it? It's a bit stupid. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to get my money's worth. And screw him. Tati from Glam Life Guru, who is an older guru. She's, I think, 6 or 7 years older than me. I'm 30, and I kind of consider myself a wee bit more on the older side of YouTube. Tati has sat on the outside of it and watched it for years. She finally had had enough, and he was apparent, like, she'd obviously been upset about something, and he basically just went and was going to spin a story to drama channels. So she thought, do you know what, I'm just going to tell everybody the truth. I'm going to tell everybody what's been going on, why I was so upset, and I wasn't just crying about vitamins, and etc, etc, etc. If you want to watch her video, I will link in the description box below, or I will put it up in a card up here for you. It's a really interesting watch. So I was never really a fan of his, but I stopped wanting to even see his videos on my feed after his palette launch and what he said about Marlena. You know, she's one of the first influencers, if not the first influencer, who took her YouTube channel and made herself a brand, and is a very successful makeup brand now. She paved the way. She kind of inspired so many other people to do it, and he thought that he knew better than her and that he should get a deal with Netflix, and he went on, I don't know if it was his channel or was it Tati's channel, but it was a collab video, and he went on a rant about it, and you could kind of see in her face that she was like, oh, why are you saying this with me sitting next to you? I don't want to be associated with what you're saying. You kind of could just see the distance sort of happening, and quite rightly so. I mean, you do not go into a business where somebody who has been doing it for a lot longer than you, who is a lot older than you, has more life experience than you, and just because you've created one palette, you think that you know best, that you know better, and then sitting saying that he's got a really good business head and knows this, that, and the next thing about business. But then, of course, in Tati's video, she said that it was actually her, James, and herself that helped him with the business side of it. He didn't even know how to monetize his channel at the start. And if I'm completely honest, I had no idea who he was until he was on Tati's channel. He moved to LA, met other people from the industry, and he got in. The one thing I believe more than anything else is it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's all about connections. I'm sorry, but having no connections, it limits you. As you'll see, as YouTubers start to grow, as they start to be able to go to events and network with other YouTubers, they really can grow. You know, that's obviously why people collab and stuff like that. So that's, if you can get yourself in with the right people, it doesn't matter if you're talented or not. It's like, oh, they like them, I like them too. You're teaching makeup tutorials and you haven't been able to shade match your foundation for the past 2 years. I'm not going to sit here and say that my foundation always matches, but I tend to have to order mine online, and he gets every single shade of a foundation. It doesn't take long to sit with every single shade of a foundation and find one that matches you. You just can't be bothered, and everybody watches your stuff anyway. Now, he's very good at his artistic stuff and stuff like that, but then, of course, you get the, well, he copied it off somebody else, or he took something that somebody else did and changed it just a little bit, didn't credit the person. Sometimes he does, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't tend to credit the artist. But when you have a bigger following than somebody and you take their artwork and you just pass it off as your own, or, you know, you don't credit them or whatever, it's not, that's not right. Obviously, you know, if you enjoy his content, if you enjoy his videos, fair enough. there will be the ones that stand by him through thick and thin and argue on his behalf. And what I would like to say to those people is he doesn't care about you. He has no idea you exist. Tati decided, I'm going to help this boy. He's talented. I think that he'll do well. He's young. And he's done nothing but throw it back in her face. And I don't mean like he's not done enough to thank her for it. I mean, he's thrown it in her face by being so ungrateful for it that he thinks that the world owes him a favour. The entitlement. He seems to think that he's entitled to his subscribers. He's entitled to money. He's entitled to a boyfriend. The way that, when am I going to find a boyfriend? You're 19 years old. Get a grip. God, I mean, nobody is entitled to a boyfriend. The world does not owe you one just because you have money and you have everything else. But you have to have that as well. And at the end of the day, if you're only chasing somebody or a whole group of men who are not interested in you, i.e. straight men, then you're never going to find yourself a boyfriend. You cannot blame this kind of shit on your age, because if you've chosen to be in the public eye and be an influencer, you have to educate yourself. What you should and shouldn't be promoting to your young fan base. I mean, I'm sorry, but if I had millions and millions and millions of followers and I sat here and said, I only go after married men, I only go after people who are in relationships, that's just my type, I would get slated for that. You would get called a slut, a slag, a homewrecker, everything. Why is it different that somebody wants to chase straight guys? Like, if somebody's in a relationship, they shouldn't be interested in getting with somebody else. If somebody is straight, they shouldn't be forced to question their sexuality because he wants them. Another thing is, I don't think that he appreciates his fans, like I said earlier. James Charles does a tour and tries to charge $500. If you're going to do a meet and greet, i.e. you're going to thank the people who put you where you are, you can't then charge them for it. I'm sorry. But like, say, I don't know, they're getting like a free goodie bag or something like that. Charge them a fraction of the price of the goodie bag and give back to your subscribers. Do a raffle, do a first come first serve. Charging for your followers to come and like see you sing songs crappily, you can't do that. It's like, if somebody's gonna have a concert, they're having their concert and then they're having a meet up afterwards, so obviously they charge for that. That's an established artist. Now obviously you seem to think that you are that, you seem to think that you can sing. At the end of the day, your meet and greets were, correct me if I'm wrong, meet and greets were originally to thank your subscribers, to meet them, to meet the people who put you where you are, to thank them, to hug them, to squeeze them, to talk to them, to get to know them, not to make money off them. And I'm sorry, but if you are justifying it by saying that people have to be paid, like your team, your security, your you know, paying for like the space or whatever, right? Okay, well, fair enough, but you should be paying them, not your fans. Your fans already pay to buy your merch. They already pay to buy your palette. They already line your pockets. So why, when you're trying to give back to them, should they pay some more? You're not offering them a service. You are going to give your thanks, if that makes any sense. Somebody had like a Snapchat or an Instagram live or something like that where they were waiting at somewhere, like one of the first meet and greet locations, and he turned up 2 hours late, but put it on social media that he was dealing with the issue. So obviously he's dealing with the backlash from Tati's video, and he decided that that was more important than going to meet his subscribers that paid $500 to meet him. So they paid all that money, and I don't think there was any free tickets, so everybody that was there actually paid money to be there, and he just decided to waltz in 2 hours late, and he said, sorry, I had personal issues to deal with. Yeah boy, you had personal issues to deal with. What, you were terrified you were going to start losing money? So anyway, to have the cheek to keep all these people waiting who paid all that money just to deal with an issue that may affect your personal life, that isn't really acceptable. You have to put that sort of shit aside. If you're gonna have like a public appearance, if you're gonna charge people to come and meet you, you can't just not turn up. You can't just not be there. I mean, he's losing subscribers by the bucket load. Is he now going to do that with every single meet and greet that he's got? Is he just going to be like, right, no, sorry, I've actually got personal issues to deal with? I don't know. I don't agree with people sort of like attacking him online. I don't agree with people like calling him names, laughing at him and stuff like that. He is a person. He is a human being. But he doesn't deserve to just get away with everything. And at the end of the day, I think that more things are going to come out. I don't think it's going to destroy his career. I don't think he's going to come way back down to like less than 1 million subscribers or anything like that, although I think that would be a pretty serious reality check for him. But I do hope that it gives him a reality check. I hope that it gives him, it makes him grow up a little bit, because I don't think he's being immature. I think he's just being an asshole. That genuinely is my opinion. I don't think that it's just like, oh, he's a kid, he'll grow out of it. Like Tati said in her video, she thought that. She thought, oh, he'll grow out of it. No, he just became a bigger asshole. And I'm sorry that it doesn't matter how much money you have or how much or how little money you have. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. So I think that he doesn't care. As long as he gets his own way, as long as he makes money, then I think that he's quite happy. He doesn't care what he has to do it. He doesn't consider anybody else's feelings when he does it. The whole Coachella thing. When I first started going out with my boyfriend, we went away on holiday to Spain, like within a couple of weeks of knowing each other. Now, I didn't know if I wanted to actually have a relationship with this person, but they invited me on holiday with them, and it turned out, yes, that I did. But had we come back from that holiday was like no strings attached sort of thing. It was like we both needed a break. We were going away for a weekend. And if I had decided that I didn't want to pursue anything after that, then that would have been fine. 5 years later, we happen to still be together, but that's not the point. A promise of something does not mean a promise of something else. If somebody says to you, yes, I will spend the weekend with you after you've offered it. If you offer something to somebody, then you can't turn around and say, well, they came, they should have been with me. No, you know, like you maybe feel obligated because you've gone to be overly grateful and, you know, kind of like cuddly and stuff like that. Fair enough, but you shouldn't then pressure somebody. I don't know, turn around and say, look, how are you feeling? How's this weekend going? What do you think? Don't just be like, oh, I presume he has his arm around me, he loves me. It doesn't work that way. I think that he just seems to think that everything should go his way. And if it doesn't, the other person's being manipulative, when he doesn't realise that he's actually the one that's being manipulative. Like, if you don't want people to use you, don't let them. If you don't want somebody to use you for a Coachella ticket, don't offer them the Coachella ticket. If you don't want somebody to use you for, I don't know, for fame, don't offer them any. Don't let them be on your YouTube channel. But at the end of the day, you did that. You went on to Tati's channel. You went on other people's channels to get fame. Nobody knew who you were, or like not an awful lot of people knew who you were. You lied about a photo to get fame. You did it. So don't get annoyed at other people when they try and do it. So that's my rant. Over. If you're looking for some good YouTubers to watch, I'll link them in the description box below, but to name a few, I would say that Samantha Ravindell is really nice. I've just not been watching her for very long. Raw Beauty Christie, Jamie Genevieve, a good friend of mine, Jen from Beauty Riot X, she's fab. Obviously Tati, if you don't know her already, you do now. I can't think of anybody else right now, but if I do, I'll list them in the description box below. If you're looking for somebody to watch that isn't a drama channel, but kind of keeps you up to date on the news, then I would definitely recommend going to watch The Viewer's Voice. He's brilliant. He's really good at sort of like reporting what's happening. He lets a little bit of emotion in, but generally he's sort of like reporting on the beauty community and other communities as well. So if you want to keep up to date with what's happening, I definitely recommend going and checking out his videos. If you enjoyed this video, then obviously I would love if you'd give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Share your thoughts on the whole drama and what is happening with the beauty community on YouTube in the comment section below so that we can talk about it. And yeah, I post videos 3 times a week, usually Monday, Wednesday and Friday, but not always. So hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.